True Peace Ken's forgotten metals are making investors a fortune. Peep the slang. This year has been one for the record books. From all-time highs in major indices to the coronavirus meltdown. And then for the market to race back and hit new all-time highs, it's been quite the ride. If you felt like your head was spinning this year by some of the moves you were seeing, it was good for reason. 2020 was one of the most volatile years in history for the stock market. In the next chart, you'll see the number of weekly 5% or greater moves up or down for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is the chart, Dow Jones, count of weeks with 5% plus change. It's the chart they're showing us, 1920 to 2020 coronavirus, World War II right here, 1950, whatever. We have not seen these types of major movements since historic times like the financial crisis, the tech bubble, and the 1987 Black Monday crashes. In response, the U.S. Federal Reserve, along with other major central banks, began providing multi-trillion-dollar lifelines to the global economy. In total, the global stimulus response to date is well over 10 trillion. This massive influx of cash has jolted the market back to life, racing ahead of where the current economy sits today. The back page benchmark. Investors love chasing stories that are on the front page, but it's the ones on the back pages that get no love, that have the most upside. Those markets and stocks are not as sexy as gold, not as sultry as silver, not as stimulating as Bitcoin or Ethereum, but industrial metals or base metals have been on a tear this year in terms of commodity price increases and how short those stocks have risen. In short, massive supply issues have exposed fragile supply chains. Try ordering a hot tub or a refrigerator, and you will quickly find out that lead times have skyrocketed on the back of factory shutdowns in the spring and summer. Factories are having tough times receiving their raw materials to keep up with the demand in orders. Stimulus checks, anyone? The effects are starting to be felt like a large earthquake. The demand for industrial metals has soared in the second half of the year as Chinese stimulus cash post-coronavirus works itself through the system. For example, right now supplies of iron ore at major Chinese ports stand at under 3 days. Iron ore days of supply, okay? It's to China. 2016, 2020. Naturally, this has caused the price of iron ore to shoot up to over 150 per ton. Iron ore. It's the chart they're showing us. January the 20th to November the 2020. Okay. Iron ore companies have risen in response. Fortescue, Australia's largest pure-play iron ore producer, is up 124% this year. Canada, Labrador iron ore is up 45%, while Cleveland Cliffs in the United States is up 65%. Forgotten metals making investors a fortune. Looking at other major industrial metals like copper, zinc, and nickel, inventories are scarce there as well. It's caused companies across the spectrum to put up monster returns this year. First Quantum Minerals, one of the largest copper producers and operators of Cobre Panama, a world-class copper mine, is up 67% year to date. Industry titan Freeport McMoRan is up 90% on the year. Mid-tier copper producer Capstone Mining is up over 200%. We can measure the scarcity using a metric called the days of supply. This metric takes total global inventory levels for a commodity and divides it by the global consumption. This type of analysis is extremely helpful when identifying future trends for commodity prices. Let's start with copper. Copper has long been an excellent proxy for global economic health. It's used in everything from washing machines to electric cars. That's why copper is often referred to as Dr. Copper, because it can diagnose the health of the market. In our Catoosa Resource Opportunities portfolio, we made money on a copper-focused small cap that returned a double from our entry price earlier this year. We also alerted readers to a spin-out company that rose from $150 to just over $6. And if you think Bitcoin returns are exciting, again, don't forget the back page stories like Copper. Longtime Contusa subscribers that participated alongside me in a gold deal from a couple of years ago even saw one of their free copper positions turn into 1,000% win from our cost base. One of the things playing a big factor in the rise in price of copper and thus copper stocks is copper days of supply. The following chart shows the days of supply of copper in inventory. Copper days of supply. Global inventories. This is the chart they're showing us, yo. You can see that inventories bulged in early 2020 due to the economic lockdowns. However, since that time, inventories have not been able to keep pace with demand. Failing inventories can indicate that copper demand is outstripping production. The story is the same for zinc and nickel. All told, the trend is clear that the demand for industrial metals has picked up significantly in the back half of 2020. When demand picks up and supply can't react fast enough, prices shoot up. I sound like a broken record, but I think the next year is going to be another volatile year. My portfolio is prepared for what I see as coming bull market in commodities that could be bigger than anything we've ever seen, given how much money world governments have injected into the system. However, there are many uncertainties around the world these days, and many of them can lead to another sharp correction in the global markets. And as an alligator investor, you need to be prepared with capital. Remember the ABC rule, always be cashed up. In my December issue to subscribers, I laid out my plan and identified 6 stocks across multiple commodities, which I feel are poised to outperform over the next 2 years. We also participated in a private placement run by an exceptional management team in the gold space. I put millions into the deal at the same price and terms, and I didn't take any penny in fees. Subscribers all over the world were able to get the same price and terms alongside me. It's catching the industry by storm. But that was then. What's coming next? My team and I have uncovered several new opportunities that we are working day and night to finalize ourselves and our subscribers. If you'd like to learn more, click here to find out what Contusa Resource Opportunity is all about. Peep the slang, man. I'm going to go check them out. What about you?